Alright, and hello again to YouTube. What's up, what's cracking? My name is Crackin Atkins. Coming to you with another video today. This is going to be another commentary and match analysis video. This time, this is going to be from my run at ICFC, which stands for Intercontinental Fight Club. It's a tournament series that's hosted by Tenno Media, Tasty Steve, and a couple others. They've been, I mostly knew them beforehand for their Tekken tournaments. I've actually been a big fan of watching their Tekken tournaments as of late, especially the Asia tournaments. Just showcases a lot of players that I haven't really been able to watch within the Tekken scene given the pandemic and everything and the lack of offline tournaments, and see what they're up to. So the spotlight on the Asia bracket is something that I definitely enjoy watching. But recently the franchise has expanded into Guilty Gear Strive, and so I've actually had a chance to enter some of those events lately. I entered the North America preseason week 1 and the North America preseason week 2, and I've been doing pretty well in those brackets. I got back-to-back top 3s, and you know, the season premiere actually just passed this week. Unfortunately, I was not able to join. My dog actually just had surgery on the same day of that tournament and came back that same night, so I had to take care of the dog, and I'm happy to say that she's doing great, but definitely looking to join next week. But for now, I wanted to make sure to give the match analysis for my week 2 footage of my run at ICFC. I did have the week 1 footage, but again, I feel like that the week 2 footage is a bit more fleshed out and has a bit more exciting matches, and of course my play is a bit more developed. So that's about it. Hope you enjoyed the video, and without further ado, here we go. Okay, so my first match is going to be going up against Dreaded, who is playing Soul Bad Guy. So here's the funny thing, right? I think like just across all of competitive Strive and just Strive in general, Soul is considered pretty strong and like somewhat of a terror and just like a character that you don't want to run into in bracket. This was my first time fighting Soul in tournament, and not only that, before this day I hadn't really fought against Soul very much at all. For some reason, I'm just not running into the character. Like, the character is super common. You actually like nowadays want to enter brackets expecting to have to fight Soul and have like counterplay ready to go. I'm kind of winging this. Like, I've been at least watching Soul, so I know what Soul is capable of, and have some general ideas of how I want to play around him. You know, being careful of Fafnir and like the way that Soul has to approach and having like good counterplay for that. But in terms of like actually being able to test those concepts or play it out in a match, like I hadn't up until this point. I don't know, it's weird. I've just been dodging Soul, but so far so good. Just kind of filling out Dreaded. I like, if possible, when playing against Soul, I kind of want to slow things down. I don't think Soul is a character that you want to scramble with, mostly because his frame data is really good. I mean, he has the 3-frame 5k, he has an invulnerable DP, he just does a ton of damage, and like he can really make momentum happen out of nowhere, which Mei can too. But I feel like if things are at a slower pace, I just have a little bit more control of the match. And yeah, that was kind of like the mindset that I was trying to bring into this. So far so good. In fact, I would say so far so great. As I'm closing in on this game 1, I was able to take it accordingly. And yeah, just being some typical Mei things, is being elusive as far as like my ground approach and my air approach, but trying to adapt it to the Soul matchup, because Soul is terrifying, man. Like, I guess the add-on to this is like after this tournament, I did end up playing a couple of friends and just like running into a couple of the Souls to see what this character is like really kind of capable of. And yeah, the / pressure is insane. It's nuts. There's not much. I don't think there's anything really like it in the game, like that situation of dealing with that pressure. But going into the game 2, able to get the gold burst. Yeah, when having like gold burst and having 100-meter as Mei, I think a common, if you've been watching my match footage, just watching like any of my matches at all, a common thing I will go for is the meter dump off of the super, as maybe like a reversal or also like a pseudo mix-up tool, because I got hit wrong block. It's very good. Here, yeah, like here I just wanted to stay a little bit patient. I usually try to do the meter dump with the supers if I need to make a comeback, or if I need something big, or if I'm trying to use like a reversal. But I've been trying to condition myself to not autopilot into that option of just going into the Dolphin Super RC for mix, because I miss out on other opportunities to amplify just my neutral game. So like just confirming off of a Totsugeki or confirming off of hits in neutral, and then RCing to make that more threatening and like get like a burst bait and something. So that ended up working out in the last round, and currently I'm closing in because this is first 2. I just filling things out. pacing of the match has been really slow, forcing Soul to come to me, navigate around my buttons, me dictating the pace, and I just need one more hit here. Taking things super slow, even if I am getting passive meter regain. And there it is, Totsugeki to sell it out. So I was able to get my first game 2-0 over Soul, over Dreaded. And yeah, like when the game was loading up initially, I was definitely nervous because like I've seen the footage. Like I know what Soul is capable of, but it ended up working out and I was able to move on to the next round. And now we jump into my next match, which was going to be going up against Betty 404. So when I saw like Betty's level and character, I was already sighing. I mean, if you know anything about like my previous tournaments or just talking to me about like my thoughts and feelings of the game, I don't like fighting Axel. Like I just really am not a fan of fighting the character. I used to feel that it was a matchup thing between me and Axel that I didn't like. Through just like discussions and playing it out a bit more and watching how other people play the matchup, I don't think that's so much of the case. I think it's more of a personal thing. And I like what it comes down to is like, I play Mei super slow, and like, well, I can play Mei super slow in terms of like how I navigate the neutral game and everything, and also try to be really mobile in the process. Like it's a very active game, but it's more like focused on putting hitboxes on screen and being kind of unpredictable with where I'm gonna move. And like the benefits of playing in that way is that I can be very obnoxious to try to hit or to try to chase, but Axel can cover pretty much all areas of the screen, or a good amount of areas of the screen. So me approaching matchups in that way, I think just personally I naturally tend to have a harder time against this character. I either need to, like, if I'm going to play that way, I need to pull it off perfectly, or it forces me to like break out of my shell and my comfort a little bit and just like be a bit more aggressive, and I have a hard time finding that balance. So trying my best here against Betty, and I mean I'm just going based off of a matchup standpoint when it comes to character, but when it comes to player, Betty impressed me quite a bit. Like, Betty played super well, had solid control of the ground game, and like really forced me to come out of my shell and figure out how I was gonna like navigate this, because again, like every time I played against Axel in tournament, win or lose, I've always struggled. So you can see here I am trying to go for that game plan of really I'm just trying to navigate Axel at this point. Like it's less about me being elusive and less about me like being unpredictable with my movement. I'm more so just trying to get a read on Axel's movement at this point, and it's just not working out completely. Tilt, really bad burst, hit with the command throw. I think that's another thing I don't like about this matchup. I get tilted real easily. I was just like, yo, please just let me in, like so yeah, first game went to Betty pretty convincingly there. I just did not find my pacing or my footing at all. Now, one thing that is interesting, so at this point, and you know, up until now too, I do have a pocket Ramlethal, and I do actually like the Ramlethal versus Axel matchup quite a bit. I think Ramlethal can do pretty good in that matchup. For the context of this tournament, I don't know, and I'll get to this a bit later. I'm playing Ramlethal a lot casually, but I just haven't felt comfortable bringing her out in tournament for some reason. I do need to change that. So for this game 2, I did end up locking in Mei, but I had a better idea of how I wanted to approach things, and this time I wanted to be more of the aggressor. And you see how that's paying off already. I have Axel in the corner, well under half health, a nice life lead. And yeah, although Axel's been able to escape the corner, they've had to spend quite a few resources to do so. No more tension, no burst available. I just need to find a clean hit, possibly a wall break to get things done. Unfortunately, not ready for the command throw, but am ready for the wake up super, which will give me my first round. And yeah, at this point, you know, I'm pretty cognizant that that burst is still not available. If I can get any type of wall break shenanigans or just replicate that round 1 situation, I'm going to be definitely the better for it. And yeah, that stand punch, like it's so good at like just controlling the ground. Like Totsugeki can't go through it. Any of my ground approaches can't go through it from like trying to run or anything. And it recovers pretty fast. So like depending on the air option that I'm doing, I can still be liable to get anti-aired if I'm jumping over that, depending on the distance. So just a solid control tool. But I do get exactly what I wanted. You know, being able to cash out the wall break damage before the burst was available. So now I'm going to be getting passive meter regain, get my safe jump. Yeah, that safe jump was a bit tricky. So I know that on that Axel super, you can block the first part, jump over it, and then punish him. And I knew I had a safe jump. I just didn't. I wasn't sure if I was gonna be air blocking or not, just based off of where the freeze frame was. But it ended up working out, and yeah. That round 2 was definitely just me having the ideal round 2 exactly how I wanted it, you know, getting that wall break before the burst came, so Axel had to eat a brunt of the damage, and then when they had burst available, I had a lot of resources available, so I could get a lot of burst safe conversions going, and yeah, it just worked out perfectly. So round 3, or game 3, this is first 2, so this is make or break time, but I am feeling pretty confident going into this based off of how that game 2 went. Only issue is Betty is adapting. You can see Betty being a bit more active, not allowing me to get those IADs or close the gap quite as easily, because that's definitely what gave me the edge in that game 2 of finding those gaps or getting some solid reads on getting my offense going. Alright, burst early just to keep the momentum going, so I burst back to keep my momentum going. Go for some mix. Successful. So that's what I was talking about earlier, right? I have stopped like autopiloting into that type of mix-up option unless, like, so in that situation I kind of needed some comeback potential. I was gonna get a wall break, so I'm gonna get meter back anyways. Probably not the worst idea to do a 100 meter dump on a mix, especially if it's gonna hit, and I mean, it awarded me with this hit, so it was definitely a good decision to make. And yeah, now I'm just a round away from taking this, but Betty is not out of this yet. That's one risky round start that I'll do if I have a read that they're gonna do the jab at round start. I'll just 3K and get my knockdown. What I'm not doing is doing 3K into 2K in the slash dolphin. If you didn't know, off of 3K on hit, I learned this from Rue. I might make a video about Rue's run in the 15v15, because there's a lot I learned from that. But off of 3K knockdown, you could do 2K in the slash for a nice meaty setup, or 2K in the slash dolphin. I mean, my bad. This was I'm not analyzing that. I honestly don't know what happened. I don't know why that worked. That was not intentional, but we'll take it. But yeah, full dust. I don't have a burst. I'm in the danger zone here. And yeah, I completely forgot that happened, and honestly, I can't tell you why that happened. So don't worry about it. Last round. Okay, able to get a burst early. That's good for me. You can tell with that early burst, now I have my eyes set on let's get some hits and let's get that corner positioning. I wanted gold burst to get that meter, so I can set up a similar situation what we saw in the round 1, to where I'm able to meter dump, you know, throw caution to the wind and just prioritize getting the wall break so I get my meter back. Unfortunately, that gold burst wasn't successful, so I gotta play this out honestly, and you can see I'm already kind of suffering for it. I'm taking a lot of damage. I don't have a burst, and this is getting rough. My risk is building. Do not want to get cornered. Do not want to get wall broken. Fortunately, oh my god, yeah, I got a throw bait there. I went for the 2 heavy slash, I think, just to kind of mix up my approach, but I wish I did an IAD back heavy slash. Could have possibly got a counter hit. That was cursed. He was just a bit too early. Okay, am I going for air throw? No, I got the call on the counter hit buttons. I was able to get a nice 2 heavy slash anti-air. That's going to be great. Give myself a wall break, and I just need a hit. You can tell that I want to get the hit now and not have to worry about burst baiting, so that I need 2 hits, but I caught lacking. The overhead there from Axel, the command throw. This is getting rough. That life that I had is slowly but surely dwindling. We're at full screen. I have to find a way in. Chipp is kind of a thing. Get the 3K, the burst bait, and I was able to seal it out. So yeah, that was actually the exact situation that I was trying to avoid. I did not want to have to deal with burst in the way that I closed out that match, and I didn't want it to come that close because I nearly lost, but fortunately, through some grace of keeping calm nerves and focus, I was able to take that match over Betty 404, a very close one. Okay, so this next match is actually against Mango for Tango, Leo player. So this is a very prominent Leo player that I've seen across some other brackets. Ironically, this was me and Mango's first time fighting each other. We had actually not fought each other despite being in some of those same brackets. But yeah, Mango is a Leo player that I like watching, because one thing I noticed about the way Mango plays Leo, they don't mind playing the neutral game. Like, they are really content to block things out. They're very patient. I feel like they pick their spots very well. And I think that's something that's exemplified in our matchups quite a bit. So The one thing about this matchup in comparison to the last matchup against Betty is like I'm able to play a little bit more of my comfort zone type of Mei play style, where I am doing the in and out sort of thing. I don't have to worry about Axel's buttons kind of like covering me all over the place. You know, I can be a bit more active and such. Nice DP bait here, able to bait the burst as well. A little shy on the damage. I think that should have been a lot more damage there, but it's okay. Reversal Super will give it back to me at the end of the day. So yeah, you're seeing a little bit more decision making on my end, where I'm able to do a bit more dolphins, may see a little bit more like command throws and things of that sort. Oh yeah, another thing about Mango is like their conversions are very good. Like Mango has very good conversions off of like counter hit, sweep, their corner conversions off of pretty much everything. Like feel like they always lead the wall break somehow. Like Mango definitely has their conversions on deck. Yeah, right now we're just kind of playing the neutral game. I like that PRC just to kind of close the gap and get closer to me. Unfortunately, it didn't pay off too much. And yeah, going into that stance, I feel like when Leos do that stance, yeah, I was able to get the 5k dash cancel that time. It was on hit, so that wasn't like the most minus thing in the world, but just able to get that read. When Leos go into that stance where they're like basically going to be able to parry the mids and everything, it's them trying to deter Mei from doing Totsugeki or from doing like an IID heavy slash or anything. It's interesting because there's like a bit of a mind game there. Usually my approach to that is either like throwing them or like going for a 3k, but it does like make you think as the Mei player about how you're going to approach when they do go into that stance. Yeah, beach ball is also another one because like I actually don't know the full entirety of how that move works, but I think if they block the beach ball or like if it makes contact, it triggers the counter hit. So yeah, you see I'm in the corner. I'm like, I'm out of the corner. Just let dolphin me out of there, please. Slash dolphin into throw, the classic. So it's just an opinion, but like if you get hit by slash dolphin and you see Mei running up, 9 times out of 10 she's gonna go for the throw. I don't think that's a bad burst point. Like honestly, as long as you're not being telegraphed with it and you know they're gonna go for the throw, it can really kind of dilute a lot of Mei's snowball potential by just bursting right there. You're like denying her getting her max damage and a knockdown off of the slash hit dolphin, and that's where she could really kind of turn things up and like snowball around. So yeah, you see I just need a singular hit. I'm not forcing it too much. I was a bit shy on trying to punish that 2D. It just like didn't feel like it was spaced properly for to get a counter poke in. Yeah, hopefully me playing this timid doesn't come back to bite me, but I'm blessed with jump heavy slash normal hitbox, so it's pretty sick. Pretty good. There it is, that counter hit 2D. And like I said, Mango's conversions are always super on point. Got to get a full wall carry. Damage off that. Oh my gosh, I'm getting melted. I'm in the Leo dimension now. Yeah, you can see I'm trying to escape from the corner. Well, don't tell anybody this, but I'm kind of free to charge dust, bro. Like if somebody does a charge dust in my face, I'm not blocking it. Like I get hit by those at least 70% of the time, and they do so much damage. I hate it. All right, nice anti-air there from Mango. You can see like Mango, when they get the corner positioning, they really aren't too like they're not really too focused on keeping me in block stun or keeping me like constantly guessing or anything. They're willing to like see how I'm looking to escape from a situation and like really calculate it with the way that they get their momentum going. That was a very nice anti-air. Almost going into some fancy corner combo routes. Not quite able to get it. But yeah, just going into that stance saying like, yeah, I'll do a slash. Are you going to do a Totsugeki? Are you going to do IED? Don't even think about it. Yeah, it's like really slowing down the game here. There it is. Yeah, I eventually do go for the Totsugeki. Got instantly punished that time. So I just don't like blocking that move. The guard crush state sucks, and Leo gets a ton of damage if he guesses right there. So I had the idea to try to interrupt. I just chose the complete wrong button. I went for slash. I probably should have went for like P or something. So yes, things are getting close. I'm trying to be like, I need to be careful because I can't get hit by anything, but I also know that I need a big comeback. So I try to go for a gold burst. Because of Mango's patience, it just like wasn't even close to making contact. A bit of a desperation burst, in my opinion. I should not have done that. But still, trying to stay in it, if possible. And no, Mango was just like So look at like the way that Mango closed that out. Like it wasn't through like forcing their way in with Leo and keeping me in the messy guessy dimension with like a back turn stance or anything like that. They just basically played a guile game where it's just like fireball and flash kick, like forcing me to approach and like basically hang myself. So yeah, I like that about Mango's play a lot, and I feel like it allows for us to have some really interestingly paced matches. Like our matches, well, spoiler alert, we played again in this bracket, but like our matches tend to take longer than other matches, even in the first 2 settings. Yeah, that time able to get the early burst and then punish for it. This time more damage than last time. Got the slash dolphin throw as close to the corner as possible. This time I'm gonna spin the RC for the wall break, and I'm in fantastic position. Yeah, Mango. Oh my god, Leo. Oh my god. Oh, I think Mango was trying to bait burst there. Oh my gosh, the snowball potential is definitely adding up. I need to be careful. Yeah, 3K. Jeez, yeah, I played so bad and used so much resources and everything. I ended up using a burst. I'm getting DP'd. What is this? Is sloppy. Holy crap, am I dead? Jeez, the wall break. Okay, I'm not dead, but what has happened to this round, yo? Like, oh no. Yeah, sometimes I will do that off of the wall break. If it's not a hard knockdown, I'll just go for the Totogeki because it's like it's 7 frames. And if they're not meeting me with anything that's going to beat that, sometimes people like try to jump in, sometimes they try to run away. Totogeki is not the worst thing in the world, but one thing it will not beat is just diving face first into a fireball. That was a solid comeback from Mango. Yeah, tried to bait DP, ended up getting whiff punish instead. You see, I'm keeping the pressure going this time. So off that PRC, so like that's a common situation that you'll see sometimes off of PRC, sometimes off of red, sometimes off of blue. If you RC below somebody, there's a bit of a mind game that's developing at the moment as far as like what that situation entails for someone that's above you and you're below them. As far as like if you're going to try to jump up and get an air throw, or if you're going to call out the air throw or call out if you're going to call out the air throw with a anti-air of yourself to whiff punish them missing the throw tech, or if you're going to call out if when they're above you they're going to try to counter poke you trying to go for an air throw and then entering that instead. It's interesting. You see a couple of times in this bracket I'm going for the 2 heavy slash, the anchor anti-air, rather than always going for the air throw, because usually I always go for the air throws, but the mind game now is a little bit more fleshed out throughout all players, so I mix up the anti-air as well in those situations. Get the burst bait, looking to push to the corner, and there it is, the 5K dash cancel into command throw. There is no burst available for Mango, so yeah, this is a great situation for me. Wall break, passive meter gain, safe jump, into the corner we go. Nice DP to get out of dodge because I was definitely in closeout mode. I'm trying to find my last hit to close out. I will find it in the form of that 3K, and I was able to take it over Mango for Tango, which was a fantastic set. Like I said, Mango slows things down. Mango is just a very strong player with good mindset as well. I mean, we saw that comeback that they were able to make in that game 3. Like near perfect situation, they were still able to bounce back. So that was a very enjoyable set. But we do meet again a little bit later. And now we hop over to this set. This is the winner's final set of my pool, and I'm going up against Test Your Luck. So there's a bit of context to this set. So during ICFC NA GG Strive preseason week 1, I actually played Test Your Luck during winners semis of the bracket. So it was to determine top 3, and I was able to get a 2-0 victory over Test Your Luck. Test Your Luck is a very prominent Nagoriyuki player, and since that week 1, I've actually seen Test Your Luck across some other brackets, including this one. And Test Your Luck has kind of been very strong as of late, like a very strong Nagoriyuki player. I think they got a dub over SQ in the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. So that just kind of speaks to the caliber of play that Test Your Luck has been playing at as of late. And going into fighting Test Your Luck during this week 2, so during the week 1 set that we had, I think there was just a little bit of unfamiliarity, or maybe not unfamiliarity, but a lack of comfort in the main matchup. This time around, I could definitely tell that Test Your Luck was a bit more prepared, and it definitely showed within the matches that we played here. Overall, like Mei versus Nagoriyuki, I feel like the matchup is decently even. It could be quite polarizing depending on who gets the momentum and how the momentum is gained. Like if it's gained from me from like frame trap or like a big 2 heavy slash anti or anything like that, you know, that's where things get kind of polarizing. But on Nagoriyuki's end, if it's gained from like a heavy slash counter hit on like my approach on like a Totsugeki or an anti or anything, things get crazy kind of quickly. But yeah, TestYourLuck like just has solid grounded approach that like made me second guess when I was going to get in. And I think also from fighting TestYourLuck in this tournament, like I didn't have a very solid understanding how Nagoriyuki worked, like really breaking it down. I just had like some general ideas of what Nagoriyuki could do, but there were definitely some aspects of this set where I was getting hit by things but didn't really understand the full reasoning of what was hitting me and why. So it actually forced me to lab up the character a little bit after this tournament. Yeah, you can see here, just trying to navigate around when Nagoriyuki whiffs. I think that's like kind of my approach, is like mixing up the options, but like when Nagoriyuki whiffs, using that as an opportunity to close the gap or close the space, because I don't want to get counter hit. Right there, I was a little bit slow on the trigger. Probably should have done a slash dolphin there. That was unfortunate. I think I was 2+ to get my throw. I ended up getting whiff punish with, well, throw. But yeah, things are super even here. Honestly, I feel like I might be playing this a little bit too slow. I think off that 3K, I was expecting to get meter. Did not have a burst punish available. Forced to burst right back. And there it is. Off of that 3K, I did have the meter this time around, so able to get the confirm. Yeah, matches are super slow. Going into round 3. So yeah, that situation right there, like I think I tried counter poking quite a bit off of that. You need to be really careful about how you counter poke Nagoriyuki when he uses special moves, depending on the spacing, and also if it's like the fireball, because fireball is actually plus. The fireball where he sends like the little clone image and everything, or it can be plus. Oh my gosh, where is my life gone? Like I supposed to be analyzing this, but literally like that is just like the Nagoriyuki way. Like you just look up and it's just like, where's my life at? And yeah, I'm dead. So yeah, the previous match that me and TestYourLuck played, I think that slow type of play of navigating around Nagoriyuki's whips and then closing the gap worked out a bit better. I was like rewarded with a lot more counter hits in that first set that we played. This time around, I think TestYourLuck is just doing a better job of mixing in specials and definitely having good blood gauge management to make sure that they don't use too many of them, which is really throwing me off. Not only that, I think I'm getting caught without burst quite a bit, which means TestYourLuck is getting very good openings, because that means in more than one occasion in a round, I'm being hit with something that I'm scared to take the full damage of. Speaking of scared to take the full damage of it, please don't hit me with a full dust combo. I'm good. Yeah, I'm also liking TestYourLuck off of Totsugeki, going for that, like those far-reaching normals on block, because I know that Nagoriyuki benefits from even having those buttons blocked because it reduces blood gauge. So that's opening, because they're having those counter pokes ready and I'm blocking them, that's enabling TestYourLuck to go for more specials. And so you see right there, that's kind of like the cycling of options that they're doing. They're like, okay, I don't need to punish Mei. I don't need to like force my way in against Mei, but if I can get her to block these slashes and heavy slashes, that's going to give me blood gauge to continue to emulate the like pacing of game that I'm doing. So very smart stuff. All right, now I'm mad. I'm just like fully going in. It's not mad, it's more like the emotional play style. I'm just like, man, I don't want to go to losers. Let's start rushing down. But oh my god, I'm telling you, don't. So actually, like every time that you see like the dust hit, just like don't factor in that I can't block that ever, because I actually cannot block full charge dust. There are some interesting things I think that are going on in this matchup though, with how the dusts are hitting, because they're catching me. I'm trying to chicken block and it's actually catching me trying to jump out, and I think there are some frame traps off of like Roman cancel that TestYourLuck does to when they go into the full charge dust, it will catch you up backing. But yeah, that was a fantastic set from TestYourLuck. They were able to take a 2-0 over me and dropping me down to losers. So who could I possibly have to fight in losers? Who could I possibly have to face off against? Who's cleaning up down there in that losers final spot to qualify for top 8? Of course, it's our good friend Mango for Tango. So we ended up having to play in a run back. And yeah, I mean, as I said previously about our matches, they tend to go to long haul, and Mango plays really slow. And I mean, based off of the way that the first set went, I'm confident in like getting the match going, but like Mango, I feel like also has strong adaptation. So yeah, this was one that I definitely want to be a little bit cautious of. Yeah, you can see right there, slash dolphin in the throw. Don't feel bad if you got a burst there. Just to like get May off of you and make sure that you're not going to get snowballed to death. Now, that was a bit sloppy, but it ended up working out for me. Throw bait, but I did not come for a descending jump heavy slash there, which would give me a nice counter hit. Yeah, see, I burst immediately. I'm like, that's that Leo snowball effect about to get going. That was kind of bad on me. You could tell that I'm like trying to shake things off and get back into the mindset of playing against Mango's Leo, because I had plenty of time to react to Leo being in stance and I autopiloted to the IAD jump heavy slash. So yeah, corner positioning. Mango has that passive meter gain. Look at how patient, like, there's just nothing. Like, Mango's just like, all right. I think what it is also holding down charge in case like I jump or anything, so the flash kick's like right there. But yeah, just the patience level of Mango is so good. Clutch 2 heavy slash anti-air. Oh my gosh, completely stuffed out of that dolphin. Great little check there. Yeah, and I think that's also a part of Mango's game plan when it comes to going into stance. They're doing it off of whiffing the stance slash, so that it can counter hit me if I'm doing a dolphin, but at the same time, if I'm trying to like whiff punish with a dolphin, I'm gonna go straight into that counter hit state. Oh my god, look at this conversion. Look at this. Mango's too clean. Boy, am I bleeding. Alright, find the IAD. That was odd. I'm not sure why I didn't confirm there. Just probably not ready, because I did not have to burst bait. But I burst baited there, and I'm rewarded with a game. Able to get that pickup. So yeah, firing right back. That was pretty significant as well, because Mango bursted super late, so it's likely that Mango's not going to get a burst for the rest of this game, which is good for me, because I still have a burst. You can see me being a little bit more aggressive, because if Mango takes any risks, the punishment that they incur from that is guaranteed. Don't have to worry about any burst or anything. My burst is gone. I'm able to get a frame trap off of the IAD dolphin. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, just looking for one hit facilities out there, and I'm able to find it. And yeah, like I know that I said that when I have the 100 meter, I'm not trying to autopilot into that mix, but like that doesn't mean I'm never gonna use it. So it's a good option, man. Like it is a very good option, especially if you have it down. So like I think the biggest thing is to get it down to being able to hit confirm it, because I do think that it is possible, honestly, just given like the cancel window of jump heavy slash and being able to like buffer in a half circle back forward and only hitting the heavy slash if it's on hit. I think that's powerful, but that's going to take some time to really iron out that skill. So yeah, able to take game 1 against Mango for Tango. Ooh, I tried to IAD past that fireball, but I did not vertically clear that properly. That's one thing I am noticing that's hitting me quite a bit is actually the Leo cross-up. I haven't been throwing Leo out of that as much as I feel like I should be. It was rough. I'm not dead, but like I might as well be. And there it is. Mango for Tango firing right back. So yeah, no burst available for me. Oh my gosh, what the footsies. That was a nice whip punish on my 5k. Again, I'm not throwing that as much as I should be. Hopefully the adaptation is coming to start implementing throw to prevent that cross up, because that is something that changes the Leo matchup quite significantly. If you're showing that you're willing and able and capable of throwing Leo out of that cross up, it really forces the Leo player to mix up how they're going to approach, whereas if you're not, you're going to be subject to mix forever. Leo players will definitely take advantage of that. Okay, yeah, I tried to delay when I did that 2 heavy slash just so I could get a burst bait. Mango for Tango had excellent timing on that burst to make sure that I didn't get anything too crazy. Yeah, the slow pace of this, like, it's really, Mango is mixing up the options really well, like even just doing like the raw cross up right in mid-screen and just throwing out these buttons, and that was like a 50-second match, which is decently long in Guilty Gear terms, especially for like a Leo paced match. But it was just fully of like Mango for Tango finding these pretty good hits, stuffing me out, you know, making it hard for me to approach, and leading us back into yet another game 3 situation. This time it's for elimination though. Last time it was winner side, this time loser side, so it's tense, and Mango is definitely showing some signs of life here. But yeah, I do think some different factors of this set in comparison to the previous set is, although Mango is still playing like the Nooch, there's a little bit more decision making coming out from their end, and I think it's more so because of my lackluster defense. Because I'm not showing very good counterplay to Leo offense, Mango is less hesitant to kind of pull the trigger on the cranking up the offense. Until I adapt. Finally, I'm throwing out of the cross up, able to bait a DP. Oh my gosh, yeah, so that is why I don't always go for punishing the dust, or the 2 dust from Leo, is because a lot of them will DP right afterwards, because it's just an awkward punish, and they just get DP and like cycle their momentum back. And I was right on the call. What I didn't factor in is that off the DP there was a Roman cancel. By the way, this is domination. This is rough. That was a really bad round. Mango cranking it up. I need to come back 2 rounds straight if I want to get into that top 8. So Mango really making me work for it. Yeah, that time I was willing to go for the counter poke. There we go. Yeah, that's something that you can also do on the cross up. You can hit a fast button. Ooh, this is huge. Yeah, that burst was definitely not the best timing for Mango at all. I mean, no burst available guaranteed if we go into a, well, no burst in the beginning parts of a round 3 if we get there, and really give me a nice momentum in this round 2. I go for it, and it was with good reason. It's because I had good mix, and I thought that I was going to be able to kill. And there it is, able to get the whiff punish on the approach there from Mango. This is going to be the last round. Again, Mango does not have that burst, so I'm going to be looking to wall break. That's pretty much the game plan that I can tend to run with May. If I notice that my opponent does have a burst, I will crank up the offense just a bit more so I can just have the lopsidedness of the matchup go even more in my favor, right? Just really make a comeback as hard as possible. Alright, although I'm not getting a wall break, the aggression and staying in is definitely paying off here because Mango is in big trouble. Oh, but the Totsugeki, good understand. It's gold burst. That was a really nice reaction from me. And I'm getting that situation that I do want off of interactions like these, where I just have a lot of meter, you know, kind of like win more territory, where like I already have advantage, but I want to have even more advantage. Go for that mix yet again. Good defense on Mango. That was my fault. I should have drifted RC'd forward to make the mix a little bit more potent. So that was actually kind of a waste of meter in my opinion. But still, due to being elusive with my approach and a well-timed dolphin, I was able to get a 2-1 over Mango in the run back. Still, another close set. I really enjoy playing Mango, and I should honestly hit them up for some more games. I wouldn't mind playing like some long sets against Mango for Tango, but yeah, off that set I was able to qualify for loser side top 8. So yeah, first match, loser side top 8 was going to be going up against the one and only honzogonzo, aka Tokido7777. So Hanzo plays Giovanna. I've actually fought Hanzo the week before this tournament, ICFC week 1. It was for winners finals of that pool, and I was able to take it 2 over Hanzo. But it wasn't easy. I like Hanzo's Giovanna, because I think like when, well, one, that's a perfect example of why I like Hanzo's Giovanna right there. Like, I think Hanzo has a pretty good counterplay in this matchup. Like, Hanzo counterpokes Dolphins very well. They cycle their options really well. That 2D, I hate Giovanna's 2D so much because like it just covers very good space. It's like a Seismo that anti-airs, dude. Like, that button is so good, and it's really, really good against Mei to kind of control the space. But Hanzo's Giovanna, I think what separates it from most is like Hanzo has very good strike throw game. Like, I think the thing that when people think about Giovanna is like is the plus frame city and like her pressure being like super overwhelming. And although Hanzo like does mix in the pressure, Hanzo really makes you uncomfortable on defense just with the potency of their strike throw game. It like makes you second guess your wake up options quite a bit. But yeah, Hanzo came through swinging immediately, because this is another run back situation. So we're going to test your luck. Oh my god, look at that. Just like the counter poke with the 2K on my Dolphin. Hanzo definitely came into this match with a game plan this week around, especially with the context of fighting me last week. Yeah, tied up on rounds. These matches are going by super fast. Run a deep. Why? It was right though, so I can't even be mad. But like, please. Jeez, man, the offense, high octane. Please get me out of here. I don't want to be in Giovanna plus frame prison. Even though like the roundhouse kick is not plus, it's just like Giovanna pressure prison. Let me out. I can't get out, man. Rightfully so, man. But yeah, wall break. Hanzo just has a ton of momentum here, and yeah, I was afraid of the throw. Got hit with the strike, and Hanzo will be able to take game one. So off of that like opener, I definitely was like, okay, I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm going to adapt around this. Obviously, Hanzo has very like a very big comfort zone in the ground game, and it showed. I got counter hit out of so many Totsugekis. Hanzo had no problem getting there. So not only did Hanzo have no problem getting their ground game started, they didn't always have to get it started off of the spiral arrow, the plus frame spiral arrow, which is big. Like that's how a lot of Giovannas will try to get their game plan started, and like that's not the best way because it can be easily telegraphed. honzogonzo was very good at finding other ways to get their like rush down started. And again, just like counter poking me out of Dolphin. I'm like, yo, please. There we go. That's what I was talking about. So I do think it's, especially on counter hit, it's possible to hit confirm May's jump heavy slash in the super, in my opinion. I think that's pretty strong. It'll give you like unburstable damage with like huge cash out potential, or just really hard to burst because they basically have to be ready to burst on like the first hit and everything. And yeah, so with that, able to take the first round. Oh my gosh, backdash to the Dolphins, like, honzogonzo, please. Okay, that was a solid counter poke. Just escape from that corner because I definitely wanted that corner pressure as much as possible. All right. Yeah, I'm just being a little bit careful. I know that I don't have a burst. I was able to get... I didn't mind taking that punish for getting out of the corner as long as I'm not in the corner blocking Giovanna, but you run from one corner, you end up in the other one in this matchup. Just somehow. Nice hit confirm to the wall break too. I'm going to have to guess on the wake up. Yeah, this time I opt for a fuzzy backdash. Definitely was rewarded for that. And yeah, dash up command throw. I just went for the read. I went for a pretty comfy read, even though I saw that Hanzo had the meter. I didn't think they were going to do wake up super. I thought that they might have opted for some type of fuzzy option or wake up throw, and meaty command throw would beat both. So was right on that. But this is like... Yeah, these are very fast-paced matches, very momentum-heavy matches, and yeah, I think both of us are just trying to make sure that we're not under either, make sure that neither of us have to block each other, basically. But yeah, Hanzo's callouts on Totsugekis are like fantastic. It's ridiculous how many of them he was able to like counter poke throughout this entire set. Alright, you can see here. I'm like not even, at this point, I'm just like, I'm not even really going to really kind of mess with Hanzo on the ground game. I could not believe I got anti-aired by full charge dust. But yeah, I'm like, I'm really mixing in the air and ground game now and not just keeping things like 100% or even 90% grounded. Because look, those 2Ds. Those 2Ds, although they're whiffing, they recover super fast. And if I'm doing anything, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna lose. Like if I'm trying to like Totsugeki, if I'm trying to run, and sometimes if I'm even trying to jump at Giovanna if it's from the right ranges, I'm getting hit. So like it's such a good option. Yeah, able to get what I think was a throw bait there. Yeah, round start. Do a delayed Totsugeki. Yeah, that delayed Totsugeki was actually to call out Hanzo possibly doing a 2D. I tried to do it at a timing there where if Hanzo did a round start button and they whiffed, I would get a punish. Yes, fantastic momentum. God, Giovanna's. But I actually learned Giovanna. Like, I'm just watching Giovanna. I'm like, this character's so good. Here we go. Into the corner we go. Yeah, there we go. That strike throw, right? I'm kind of scared of the wall break. But yeah, that time I was able to guess correctly. But yeah, that first throw hit because I was just purely scared of the wall break. I would have bursted there if I was Hanzo. This wake up super, I tried to go into the air to make it whip so there was no red RC. Fortunately, the purple RC, that super got Hanzo out of the corner, but I didn't have to take much of a mix, which was nice. Oh, run up DP. Yeah, I'm just patient, able to get the counter poke. Yeah, that matchup straight up off of the slash dolphin, I think like Hanzo should have spent that burst right then and there, especially since they were sitting on full meter, and that would have guaranteed gotten them out of the corner positioning. Rather than taking the throw, I get max damage, I get a knockdown, and they're in the corner. But tournament sets, man, it could be really hard to kind of make those judgment calls mid-tournament. But yeah, if there's one thing for sure, I am absolutely on my toes against Hanzo, because this is nowhere near and like even the set that we played during ICFC week 1, there was a lot of similar game plans that Hanzo was running in the form of like counter poking dolphins and having that strong strike throw game, but it wasn't this close. So now Hanzo's super active. Here comes that strike throw game. Jeez, please, come on, throw loops. What are you doing? I have throwing ball on wake up. Why is this working so well? And then like I'm trying to get out. I'm like, yo, I'm really getting Street Fighter throw looped in Guilty Gear. Like Hanzo really utilizes that so well. Because when it comes to Giovanna, that's the thing that you're always thinking about. Like, I don't want to be under pressure. I don't want to block these plus frames and like all these things. But you may be willing to block it out. You may be using your FD, but Hanzo makes you think about all like other options that you have to cycle through defensively, so you're not getting thrown loop forever. Getting punished for thinking. Who knows what happened during, like, I know I'm supposed to be analyzing this match. I don't know why I'm melting, because I definitely just got melted. Hanzo's been getting some great calls. Anchor not able to save me. Oh, that was so good. No punish though. Yeah, I'm fully depleted of resources, and yeah, off of that, I don't even know why I challenged there. That was a really odd challenge to go for it, but Hanzo firing back. We're tied up 2-2. Yeah, I think that was definitely a nice momentum-heavy round there for Hanzo, getting some great reads, keeping the pressure going, and not allowing me to dictate any part of the pacing of the matchup. And honestly, also having some good, because like I said, after the way the game 1 went, I mostly gave up on the notion of trying to really outplay Hanzo in the ground game. There's just too much. Like the 2K counter pokes on my Dolphins were too good. The 2Ds, the 6Ps, the 5Ks, like just everything. I'm just like, no. So yeah, it came more down to like at least putting jump heavy slash on the brain, so that I can open up some more Totsugekis, but not like purely going for Totsugekis and runs and everything. So yeah, this time able to get some nice catch out on the corner positioning. A late burst from Hanzo too, which we all know we love taking rounds that happen right after the opponent bursts. That means it is highly likely on that next round they're not going to get their burst back. Which as Mei, we like that. So if we get any big counter hits, they got to hold all that damage. All right, corner positioning here. That was unfortunate. I did my IAD heavy. I thought it was going to be like a safe jump timing. I did my IAD heavy slash way too late, so it didn't even come out, and I had to eat a big punish for that. What a 6P! Hanzo's so ready. All right, throw into the corner. Yo, I go for some secret tech. Unfortunately, I think through the FD it pushed me out of range for that command throw, but that is a very nice beach ball setup that I got from Twitter. I might link it in the description so you guys can take a look at it, because I think it's very good for me. But yeah, double overhead, was able to seal it out, and I was able to get the narrow 3-2 victory over honzogonzo. I love the way that Hanzo plays Giovanna. I thought this set was super close. Like, it came down to the wire, especially in comparison to our week 1. And I hope we face off in bracket again. All right, so this was my next loser side top 8 match. I was going to be going up against JayRain. So in between my matches, since every match from here on out for top 8 was on stream, I was actually watching. I usually don't do this, but this time I was watching the stream. just to watch players play before I had to play my match. Usually I'll like just play other people in between just to keep myself ready to go. But I got to watch JayRain versus, I think it was Punk. And so like JayRain plays Leo, and the thing I noticed immediately is how much more active and aggressive JayRain is as a Leo player in comparison to Mango for Tango. Because like, keep in mind, I just played Mango for Tango in like 2 sets within this bracket, like on the same day, like maybe less than an hour ago. And so seeing the comparison between Mango for Tango and JayRain, I knew going up in our matchup is going to be a completely different, like, a completely different pacing of play. You can see that already. Like, JayRain is definitely going for a lot more of the back turn mix-ups. They're a lot more in my face. They are choosing a lot more aggressive type of approach, and I'm just like, all right, this is going to be interesting, right? Because like I had that was a fantastic burst bait from JayRain there, by the way. I had the 2 sets that I played against Mango, and like had a pretty solid understanding of how those sets were going, and I didn't have to necessarily throw my game plan completely out of the window, but I was definitely going to have to adjust when fighting JayRain, because like the pacing, you can see it, like the dashes, just the options that JayRain are cycling through are things that like sometimes just never came up between me and Mango. So yeah, this game 1 is pretty rough. Very nice IAD. I'll do beach ball from full screens from time to time if I know the opponent's not trying to approach, but JayRain was in there. The DP, that was awkward that I didn't hit confirm that, but it ended up working out because I was just going to throw back into the corner. But where did that even hit? I think I tried the anti-air, but my anti-air was just like in the wrong position altogether. Wall break? Yeah, we take those. This is rough. I can't get hit by anything. I actually don't like that I didn't go on the aggressive after getting that wall break, just because I am in such a dire need to make a comeback. But yeah, 2D catches my toes, and JayRain takes this first game in pretty quick fashion. So going into game 2 and onwards, that gave me some pretty good data. I'm like, okay, like obviously this the pacing of this match is going to be a little bit more fast paced. But that actually can work to my advantage, because this allows me to go back into my comfort zone of the sort of slow-paced game and like momentum-heavy type of game, to where since JayRain is a little bit more of the aggressive side of things, you can see I'm doing IAD back heavy slashes now. I'm putting up the wall of buttons, and I'm being a little bit more, a little bit harder to catch. And I'm ready for the cross-up now, countering with throw. So yeah, you can see now I'm just sitting on the life lead. I'm going to start doing way more IADs. I'm going to start being a lot harder to lock down. That was a nice DP call, because I did go for 3K. Oh my god, I'm in the corner. Oh boy, I don't have burst. Yikes. Fortunately, there was a drop. But you can see I'm just taking things slow, taking things at my own pace. JayRain does still have a burst, so I need to be careful of that. Yeah, I went for the throw there, mostly because I saw that there was a dash recovery that could possibly be a factor, so that throw could have, like, it wasn't a bad option to go for in that situation. Alright, yeah, just dash blocking these fireballs. I'm in no... Even though my back is to the wall, I was able to get that burst too. Even though my back was to the wall, I was in no rush to throw myself at JayRain. As long as I'm keeping these hitboxes on the screen, like the jump heavy slash and like my stand slash and everything, and making it hard for JayRain to approach, it's okay if my back is up against the wall. Oh my god, yeah, no, I really, that's one thing about my game that I need to clean up a little bit when it comes to my Mei. I tend to drop some really big damage situations, and that was one of them. Because Mei in the corner, like, she can get insane damage off the heavy slash loops with heavy dolphin and everything, but yeah, sometimes I just kind of misjudge the verticality or misjudge the bounce back off the wall that my opponent will get off of those conversions. I end up losing a lot, because not only did I lose damage in that situation, I lost corner positioning, but I brought it together and was able to tie it up 1-1. And the overall macro game plan that I'm running here is working. Like, these IAD back heavy slash and everything is slowing down the pace of the game in my favor now. And I'm going to continue it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Look, just jump heavy slashes for days, opening me up to get a little bit more Totsugekis, getting a little bit more solid reads of JayRain's approach. There are a lot of these DPs coming out from JayRain. And yeah, I'm comfy cozy. Like, this is the pacing of matchups that I want to play. Just being annoying. Like, just running around, throwing my hitboxes, and making it tough for my opponent to approach. Alright, yeah, yellow Roman cancel because I'm just like, yo, I'm chilling. And yeah, I wasn't even really expecting DP so much there. It was more so that I was just going to be patient after YRC just to see what JayRain wanted to do, and it ended up being DP. Yeah, there was a good amount of DPs that JayRain was throwing out, and I think a lot of it was trying to call me out for going in or just trying to stir the momentum back into their favor, but I'm chilling. Burst just to make sure that Leo doesn't get started. Oh, that's big. Oh my god. So if I was ready, JayRain possibly could have died. Because like off of that hitbox, if you hit 5 heavy slash on that reverse hit like that and you cancel into the pink dolphin, it'll actually hit them back into the corner. And off of that, I could have possibly gotten like 2 heavy slash that would wall splat into like a heavy slash dolphin. And that would wall break. And like JayRain possibly could have died. But that's kind of a hard situation to... you got to be visually and mentally ready for that in order to get that type of confirm. And I wasn't ready there, but it ended up working out. So this is match point for me, and I mean, I don't really have any intention on changing up my game plan. You know, the game plan that I'm running seems to be working. I'm mostly just focused on how JayRain is going to switch things up and if I need to adapt, but I'm going to be mostly sticking to the same type of structure and just mindset here. I actually preemptively hit throw expecting cross up, but ended up getting rewarded anyways. Oh my gosh, that was... I just figured that 2 heavy slash was going to be in range, but I should have dashed up and punished that burst, but it's okay. Yikes, I'm mashing. Probably going to mash it more. Come down with the heavy slash. Oh, I was way too late on that. I think I got the throw, and I was more so focused on what my Oki was going to be. And then, like, right when I was thinking about Oki, I was like, wait, I can kill. And then I just RC'd way too late. Yeah, I think I was just preemptively mashing throw, expecting cross up, rather than reacting to throw, so I'm getting counter hit. I'm still mashing throw. Damn, I'm kind of exposing myself over here of how much I'm mashing in this matchup right now. Don't worry about it. It's working out, okay? Oh, gosh. DP. Oh, that was a pivotal drop there from JayRain. Still. Okay. Gets counter poked. Yeah, the classic 3K into Roman cancel. Get my wall break. Just need a hit. Anything will do it. And that is a fair and balanced button. Don't at me. But I was able to get 3-1 victory over JayRain. Persist in this losers top 8. Really having to go for the long haul in terms of sets here. In ICFC week 1, I qualified for top 8 winner side, so I'm definitely going for the slog of matchups to try to qualify my way to top 3 if possible. Alright, so this next match is pretty sick for multiple reasons. I think this was my favorite set of the tournament. It was going up against Gorro, who was definitely showing some stuff with Chipp throughout the entirety of this tournament. Gorro is actually a Samurai Showdown player. Shoutouts to Gorro and the entirety of like the WNF crew for Samurai Showdown, because this was definitely like a community leader for like the Sam Show community that I've been able to play with in the past in Sam Show, and I definitely know their capabilities as a player going into this, and I was able to see their previous matchup, which is up against Pax, who is also a Mei player. And Pax is a very, very strong Mei. Pax is actually somebody that I watched quite a bit of match footage from, alongside like Tempest and Papaleo and Rue, like a couple of other like strong Mei players that I try to get some ideas off of. And I saw the way that Gorro versus Pax went. The same matchup as Chipp versus Mei. And Pax played the matchup really in like kind of an aggressive way, which I understood. And it ended up not going really well. Gorro was able to get the 3-0 victory. Granted, I think there was like some drops from Pax that led to that, and like just some unfortunate ways that some matches where Pax has had really big life lead, and Gorro was just able to outplay and get the comeback. So going into this match, I was like, okay, I saw that the type of aggressive approach and how that didn't work out for Pax. I'm going to try to take my approach of slowing things down, and I think I can get it. So I actually went into this pretty confident. The thing is, Gorro's kind of nice. So one big thing about Gorro that I think is like really impressive for them to have down this early is their conversions. Gorro does like fast RC, not only like fast RC mix, so canceling the fast RC so you don't get the timer. Not only do they do mix-ups with that, but they also have very solid conversions with that, which makes Chipp hurt more than Chipp usually does. Just because they're doing fast RC and there's no spark that's making contact with you, the proration is better, so Chipp is getting more damage on average every time that they're spinning a bar to get that hit confirmed. So that was a really strong aspect of Gorro's game plan. Another strong aspect of Gorro's game plan was definitely, of course, I think naturally as a Samsho player, is ground game. Like, so Gorro's approach to the ground game was super solid. They also had some Totogeki stuff, options that they were able to dish out, which created a weird set over like time, to where eventually it just got to this pacing to where because like Chipp has some pretty good air options too, right? The jump 2K is kind of a meme, and so it just got to this pacing where I never wanted to be, we started playing a lot more of an air game, and I never wanted to be under Gorro because I didn't want to deal with jump 2K, and so yeah, it eventually created for a really airborne match. But anyways, as of right now, yeah, I did the back. That's something I had just learned right before this tournament. So off of your Roman cancels with like red Roman cancel and maybe purple, but definitely off the red Roman cancel spark, if you do a Roman cancel backwards or upwards, it launches them higher. So that allowed me to get a side swap conversion there to break the wall. Very, very good stuff. Oh my gosh, another thing about this freaking match, some rounds were just so freaking close. Like we're both in like this crazy territory. I even like spent burst because I just wanted to make sure all that effort that I put into that round, I was going to be rewarded with a win, but it was maybe a little bit too hasty because I didn't even get the round win. Yeah, and this is where things are starting to get into that airborne territory where Gorro's in the air and they're willing to do that jump slash to deter me from approaching, but also if I try to approach from the ground and threaten like a 2 heavy slash or anything, that jump 2K is coming. Now, jump 2K does have some counterplay potential that people are getting better at dealing with, but it's still like a problem option. Like making 6P, if you like have the read, you could try to risk your life with 2 heavy slash. I don't think it's like the best option. If it's super telegraphed and you're right under Chipp, you can actually run forward. There's some stuff. I think there's also some stuff to where like if they do it in the corner, you can like do back P and K, and what happens is like if they stay in the front, you get a, it's some type of OS to where like if they stay in the front, you get a 6P, but if they cross up, you get a FD. It actually might be forward P and K. So there's some stuff, but it's a problem button. Jump 2K is ridiculous. There it is right there. Speak of the devil. So yeah, there I'm seeing it right there. I'm like I don't want to block that on the ground. I refuse. I'm just like so unwilling to block that move on the ground. I'm like, if you're gonna jump, I will just jump with you. Yeah, Gorro getting this wall break. Good amount of momentum for the moment. Oh, that was rough. I think I actually purposely wanted to punish with a jab to try to bait the burst. I just didn't construct that very well. Yikes. Man, blocking Chipp sucks because there's so much you have to look out for. Rekkas, at any given time, they can go into command throw. You got to watch out for cross-up alpha blade sometimes. There's just like, there's so much you need to be on the lookout for when you're blocking Chipp. Alright, the RC forward, and yeah, solid round there for Gorro. But yeah, otherwise, I think my pacing and approach to this matchup is paying off a bit. Like, not forcing myself in against Gorro and going super aggressive, and more so just playing around Gorro is working. Hopefully. Okay, yeah, I got the classic, the 5K and the dash cancel for the command throw. It was off of a 5K on hit, so a little bit less sus. Gonna be able to get the super wall break, give me the heart knockdown into the safe jump. I think I tried to bait a DP. That's why I left a little bit of a gap in the pressure. Oh my god, that was, man. So I think I autopiloted timing for a YRC there, and Gorro just ended up not meeting, which created a really awkward Oki situation. Oh my god, jump 2K. It hit me on the ground. Yeah, that is something that I actually purposefully do against a Chipp at times. If there is like an alpha blade that's happening, especially the airborne one, just to prevent, so to not only prevent the pressure from persisting, but to also lock down Chipp in the corner, I'll spin the YRC. Or the burst even. Sometimes I'll even burst that interaction. Oh my gosh, overhead. I'm not protecting the dome. I don't want any wall breaks, so I'm just like, I'll just burst right now. You got me. You got me. You caught me red-handed. Okay? Yep. I refuse. I refuse to block. I refuse to block jump 2K on the ground. I'm just spacing it out. Wherever Gorro is going in the air, I'm kind of tracking them. I'm saying, all right, this is where I'm not going to be on the ground. I was hoping for a burst. Gorro did not burst there, so that was definitely good patience. Oh my gosh, but I backed myself into a corner here. This is a little risky because I don't have a burst available. So if I get tapped by anything, I could die. If that jump 2K, the thing I'm trying to avoid. Fortunately, I get out of the corner. Yep, I'm just constantly throwing out jump heavy slash because I don't want to be in this situation. Look what happened. Look what happens when you block one jump 2K on the ground. Look what's going on. I'm gonna lose the round. Not quite, but still. Oh no, that was unfortunate. I didn't get my dash up throw on the burst, and boy, this again. We had so many rounds like this. It just like came down to the wire. These last hit scenarios. I think a lot of it was because of my unwillingness to approach. Like, jeez, yeah, fast RC for that completely caught me off guard. The fast RC into more pressure into the command throw. That was a solidly executed sequence there from Gorro. Oh man, this matchup was so stressful. In fact, after that match, I had to do a deep sigh. Like, I think I did a deep sigh and grabbed some water before readying up for the next one. Because man, that was just like, I'm trying to be so meticulous. Like, I'm being like so cautious of making sure that jump 2K doesn't hit me in situations that I'm not ready for. I don't feel fully confident in anti-airing it consistently yet, and I don't want to risk that in a set because after this set, I ended up labbing it a bit more of like my options against jump 2K, but for the context of this set, it was more of a conceptual thing I knew and like kind of labbed out, but wasn't ready to risk my tournament life on yet. So that's why the pacing of these matchups are so slow, and I'm just like more airborne, beating Gorro in the air rather than like trying to contest them on the ground or find myself under them to, you know, basically throw myself into a jump 2K situation. All right, counter hit Dolphin. That's momentum for me. Telling you, just throw it into the corner. I'm ready to go. That time I had a read, so that time I risked it on the 2 heavy slash and I was right. This is rough. Yeah, throw break. Nice combo there from Gorro. He's gonna get them some passive meter gain. But yeah, I still have a bar to work with. I still have a burst to work with. Ooh, especially off counter hit Dolphin. No burst available. This is nice. Just need one more, maybe a couple more hits, but it's Chipp. Possibly just one more hit. I didn't confirm off that. That could have been it. Gosh, the fast RC. That's so cheap. Like, you see RC and you're expecting like a drift or something, and then like they just like, no, it's fast RC. You still got to block. You got to guess right now. That was a very ambitious slash Dolphin. I tried to just purple RC. I was like, I know that Gorro's going to be taking the skies. So let me purple RC this beach ball and have the opportunity to run to try to cover areas so that Gorro can't move. But even in trying to do that, Gorro's already like way far away from the beach ball for it to even matter. I just burst. I want to keep Gorro locked down in the corner. Chipp says no. In fact, now I'm in the corner. How did this happen? Oh my gosh, I need to be careful because it's like 2-1, so I cannot lose a game or else I'm out. There we go, solid read. Yeah, if it's a super telegraph jump 2K, May with the 2 heavy slash, just given the hitbox on that move, it's not bad. If you got the read and you know you're not gonna whiff, it could be a good, like, you know, anti-jump 2K tool to really get you some nice damage too. Yeah, I gotta guess. Overhead. There was another thing that Gorro did quite a bit with that overhead. They have it hit late, and Chipp actually gets a meterless conversion off that. I'm like, what? Yeah, here we go. Super slow paced game yet again. Nope. I just ran completely under, and I'm like, no jump 2K, no thank you. Yeah, just more IID back heavy slashes. It makes for a slow-paced game, and it definitely makes for a mentally taxing game, but it's one that I'm willing to play if I don't have to be under Chipp pressure. Even if I have to get danger state, it's okay. Gold Burst eliminates those problems. Now the only problem here is, so I wanted to go for my meter dump mix, and I need to lab this out a bit more. Because I was in danger state, even though I made contact with a jump heavy slash, there was a back input for my super, and it put me back into danger state. I was just inputting my super, but my super has a back input. And because I hit that back input when trying to do my 100 meter option, it drained meter from me. And so I was not able to RC to make that an actual mix-up tool. I just got punished. So I was not expecting that at all. Oh boy, but yeah, I'm back in danger state. Like at this point, I don't really care about danger state. Like it is making me lose meter, but like this is just the way I'm gonna play the matchup. Like, oh, the run up DP, I hate that about this game, man. Blocking DPs in the air does not guarantee you a punish. There's some weird pushback stuff, and yeah, it could make punishing DPs and some supers, like Ram Super for instance, really hard to punish. But fortunately, things still worked out. And we're moving into a game 5 situation. Boy, oh boy, was this matchup a long one. Really hyped though. Like I've watched this match back a couple of times, and this was a really interesting match between me and Gorro that made me think a lot. I think this is what spurred me to lab Jump 2K just a bit more, because I was like, yeah, although this is like a successful way for me to approach a Chipp matchup, it's not the way that I always want to be able to approach it. If I could just have a bit more control, I think I'll be better for it in the long run. But for the context of this matchup, where we were at in the state of the game at this moment in time, it worked out. So, all right. Also, I've been getting a lot of mileage off some gold bursts, which is very nifty. Okay, this time I go for the mix. I kept making that mistake in this tournament. I'm not drift RCing forward, so that mix is just not very potent at all. If I had drift RC'd forward and went for some like JPs, I could have possibly caught Gorro's jump frames there and gotten some big damage. But fortunately, I just had such nice momentum for that matchup overall. Take my game 1. We are moving along. I am feeling pretty cozy. Hopefully. Counter hit 2 slash, unfortunately did not hit confirm. Yep, just constantly. So that is one thing that's not too bad about implementing that game plan. So because I ran under the Chipp J2K there, I got to punish the landing recovery with my far slash. So, oh my god, yeah, this is the exact situation I don't want to be in, dude. Like, get me out of here. Oh yeah, I wanted to try to bait Gorro going for a throw or trying to jump or anything. They went for burst, so that was a good defensive decision making there from Gorro. They were able to cash in the wall break as well. This is sus. Oh boy, the pressure. I do have a burst available. Get the throw into the corner. And yes, on the strike throw, I went for the toes that time around, and I was successful. I got the 3-2 victory over Gorro, but it was not easy at all. And again, it was like a bit like I felt like the pressure was on. Like after seeing Gorro 3-0 packs, and like I said, that's like a mid player that I definitely get some ideas from, and I watch quite a bit. I felt like the pressure was on for me to like basically figure out how to throw May against Gorro and be successful. And it was cool to see that I was able to figure it out. You know, just bringing my pacing of the matchup, I think, really was a benefit in the long run. But again, I do want to kind of get a little bit more consistent in the Chipp matchup and not have things always have to play out that slow and get a little bit more control in the future. But definitely a solid game between me and Gorro there. So I did it. I clawed my way through losers, top 8, and got into the top 3 positioning. Now, who could I have to fight in losers finals? Who could be cleaning up in the bracket but just had a tough draw in the winners final side? It's our good friend TestYourLuck. So there's just like so many. The bracket was funny for me because there's just so many runbacks of people that I either fought like last week that I had to fight again, or people that I fought in this bracket and I had to fight again. There's just like so many runbacks. But yeah, I had to fight TestYourLuck in losers finals, and I was kind of on a roll. Like I definitely had a lot of momentum going into this match, and I was pumped. I was like, okay, I get the run back against TestYourLuck. I was ready to go, but we saw how TestYourLuck played previously, and in the back of my head going into this game 1, I thought about Ramlethal, because like TestYourLuck was definitely a lot more solid against May this time around, and I remembered that. But I was just like, I don't know, all the momentum with Mei has been paying off so far, I'm not going to subside that. And I think that was just a bit of like, I don't know. It'll come up later in the set because I do end up switching to Ramlethal, but I think I should not have guessed myself, second guess myself. As soon as I had that thought to play Ramlethal, I should have. But here we go. I'm keeping up my pacing of Mei. Again, trying to capitalize on whiffed Nagoriyuki buttons and getting dolphins or some type of approach as a benefit of that. Oh, the awkward blue Roman cancel kind of stall that we had there. Oh my god, no. Thank god. Oh no, you just throw. Yeah, I actually maybe should have saw. So this was before I labbed Nagoriyuki out a bit more. I should have had the idea that that commander was coming because Test Your Luck was just a inch away from popping blood gauge, so they needed that command throw, which drains like all of their blood gauge back to 0, so they don't have to worry about popping it. But I didn't know that in this tournament set. So yeah, that's one big thing about the one big takeaway from the set. This was cursed. This was oh, never mind. Now this was cursed. Cause I went for the freaking mix, but I ended up getting the reverse hit because my jump heavy slash crossed up for some reason. I had buffered it in because I thought it might whiff, and I wanted to come out on blocker hit. I just didn't expect it to come out quite like that. Again, that RC with the dust, he's catching up back. You know, I only realized that that's what was happening after the tournament. I didn't realize it within the tournament that like or like I didn't care to like analyze that enough to realize that was what was happening within the tournament, that I was getting caught in my jump frames off of that RC into the full charge dust. So yeah, game 1 went down, and yeah, given that I'm this negative against Test Your Luck, this is where I was like, okay, it's time to pull out the Ramlethal. So this was my first time pulling out Ramlethal within the entirety of the bracket, and I had pulled out Ramlethal in some tournament sets previously, but I think just a bit of like nervousness and autopiloting and a little bit of like emotion made my Ramlethal not as clean as it usually is. And I think also confidence was a big thing. Like, you know, I hesitated bringing Ramlethal out because like I felt like it would be a nice switch up, but I did not execute it to my best ability. You can see just kind of like the hesitance in my approach right now. Like I got a gold burst, have all this meter available. I'm not really, you know, I'm not really imposing my will as Ramlethal as much as I should be. I even like hesitated on like wake up supers and such, like all that meter. I died with 100 tension, and I like, had 100 tension for such a long amount of time. But here we go. This is my chance to get things started. Unfortunately, I missed my meter and I got counter hit against Nagoriyuki in the corner. This is rough. This game 2 was a very rough start for me to switch into Ramlethal. But one thing I knew, despite how this match was going, was that I was going to be committed to Ramlethal. That was like a tough matchup for me to gauge how well Ramlethal was working. And going into the game 3, it ended up working out a lot better. It was just pulling it out in the game 2. There was definitely a lot of nerves in play that I wasn't playing Ramlethal as I typically would. But yeah, the Ramlethal Nagoriyuki matchup, I actually don't know if it's better than the Mei Nagoriyuki matchup, honestly. I think, in fact, to be quite honest with you, I think I would actually prefer to run Mei into Nagoriyuki. This was mostly just a Test Your Luck type of thing, to where like Test Your Luck was showing so much prominence against Mei, and I was like, since I have this other character, I should try this out instead. You can see now I'm a little bit more in my comfort zone. Like I'm actually throwing out some more Ramlethal buttons. I'm getting some confirms. I missed kind of like my wall confirmed there, and that was another thing. I started mashing jab a lot awkwardly. Like I should have supered there, and I could have actually killed Nagoriyuki. But again, just like some nerves coming into play. But I get the reversal super here, and I'm looking a little bit more comfortable on the character. All right, get the jump forward. Ooh, yeah, backdash. So I'm just gonna burst instantaneously. I was surprised about that clash. Oh no, I didn't 2 heavy slash. That was pivotal there, missing that, because I definitely could have gotten a clean wall break, but I'm still keeping my pressure up. Yeah, very nice. Oh no, that was unfortunate. Yeah, that was something that like so after this tournament I have been playing Ramlethal a bit more. And I needed like a 2 heavy slash there, or to just super a little bit earlier, because there's just too many hits on that combo without any wall break. Oh boy, 2 heavy slash counter hit. I should have died, but fortunately I'm still alive, but not for too much longer. So tournament life is on the line. The Ramlethal is working out a bit better, and I wish I had picked it in game 1, because I think it could have went the distance. But right now I'm in a make or break situation. The wake up burst from TestYourLuck there was actually a bit surprising, but I mean, it gained them the corner. And again, just like I needed to know that about Nagoriyuki sooner, about like the command throw reducing blood gauge, because I think I would have had a little bit of a better eye for when TestYourLuck was going to go for them. But either way, please super. No, what are you doing? I missed out on a safe jump setup and some potential momentum that could have snowballed me to the end of this round. Again, not wary of Nagoriyuki with that command throw getting blood gauge drained, and this is just rough. Not undoable, but rough, and there it is. TestYourLuck was able to seal it out with a 3-0 victory, eliminating me from the tournament in the 3rd place. One thing I want to say, super solid stuff to TestYourLuck, because again, we fought in ICFC week 1, and I was able to get a 2-0 victory. And then on the flip side, us fighting in this tournament, it was 5 games unanswered. Like, I was not able to get a game over TestYourLuck. So definitely a super strong Nagoriyuki player that I'm looking forward to playing against more in the future. But a solid ICFC run this week and last week for me, consistent top 3s. Definitely one of my biggest takeaways from this bracket was to have a bit more confidence in my Ramlethal. So actually after this bracket, you know, I've continued to play Strive and actually play a little bit more Strive than usual. To kind of be transparent here, I've actually been entering a little bit less tournaments. So ICFC last week was the last tournament that I entered. I actually entered Levo a little bit afterwards, and I ended up getting mopped. I think I went like either 2-2 or 1-2. It was rough. That tournament was super stacked. I actually planned on making an analysis video of that until I saw the results, and I was just like, man, that was rough. But the results of that tournament made me realize that I had been going a little bit too ham on tournaments and not going ham enough on just like playing the game, because during the week of this ICFC I had actually entered like 4 Strive tournaments for that entire week, and that can get rough if you're also like juggling a full-time job and trying to do the whole YouTube thing and everything. I was just like kind of burning out without like actually playing and enjoying Strive and like ironing out my gameplay a bit more. So I've been focusing a little bit more time on Ramlethal. I would say my character split at the moment is that I've been playing like in like casual matches, 40% Mei, 40% Ramlethal, and then maybe like 20% Anji. So definitely trying to get a little bit more comfortable with Ramlethal, so when I do find a situation where I do want to pick the character, I can be a bit more cleaner. Not only that, I think there's just like a funny thing that I've been told through playing Ramlethal of people asking me why don't I just main Ramlethal, because for people that know how I play in other games, Ramlethal is a character on paper that looks like it would be more so my pacing of character than Mei. And it's something that like I have considered but will never pull the trigger on, of just being purely a Ramlethal player, just because I enjoy playing Mei so much. Like, Mei is like, ever since she was announced for this game and seeing that trailer and like the way they reworked her from Exit, I've just loved the character ever since. So definitely some character loyalty there to Mei that I think has subconsciously also like deterred me from wanting to switch to Ramlethal in those tournament situations. But I need to break from that a little bit, because my Ramlethal is pretty solid, and I think it can be a solid kind of secondary character for me that I should have more confidence in tournament sets. So yeah, had a little bit of a break, did not enter ICFC, the season premiere that just happened a couple of days ago from when I'm recording this video, but I definitely plan to enter week 2. And moving forward, I think ICFC is going to be the tournament that I consistently enter on a week-by-week basis, and just limiting my tournament entrance as a whole, because again, I burned out a little bit. So rather than doing 4 tournaments a week, maybe just limit it to like 2. But yeah, that's all I have for now. I hope you guys enjoyed this match analysis video. Also, with me entering less tournaments, I should have a little bit more time to actually stream or maybe do some other videos. There's a couple more things that I have in mind. So if you enjoyed this, we're going to see some more future content. Typical YouTuber stuff, man. Leave a like, subscribe, comment, whatever you want to do. But that's all for now. And until next time, y'all take it easy.